In the heart of ancient Rome, there lived a man who ruled the greatest empire the world had ever seen. His name was Marcus Aurelius, emperor, philosopher, Stoic. But here's what most people don't know about Marcus Aurelius. He wasn't just powerful. He was wealthy beyond measure. And yet, his relationship with wealth was completely different from what we see today. While most people chase money desperately, Marcus Aurelius understood something profound, something that made him not just rich in gold, but rich in wisdom, peace, and lasting prosperity. Today, we're going to decode the 7 rules Marcus Aurelius lived by when it came to building and maintaining wealth. These aren't just ancient theories. These are battle-tested principles that worked 2,000 years ago and still work today in our modern world of business, investing, and entrepreneurship. Whether you're building a startup, climbing the corporate ladder, or investing your first dollar, these 7 Stoic rules will change how you think about money forever. Let's begin. The first rule Marcus Aurelius lived by was simple but revolutionary. Wealth is a tool, not a goal. Listen carefully to what Marcus wrote in his personal journal, a book we now call Meditations. He said, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." Think about that for a moment. The most powerful man in the world, who had access to unlimited riches, was telling himself that happiness doesn't come from wealth. But here's the critical distinction. Marcus didn't reject wealth. He didn't live in poverty. He didn't give away all his money to appear virtuous. No. He understood something far more sophisticated. Wealth is neutral. Money itself has no moral quality. It's neither good nor evil. It's a tool. And like any tool, its value depends entirely on how you use it. A hammer can build a house or break a window. Fire can warm your home or burn it down. Money can create freedom or become a prison. The tool isn't the problem. The user is. Marcus Aurelius pursued wealth, but he never pursued it as an end goal. He pursued it as a means to live according to his values, to support his family, to strengthen Rome, to have the freedom to think, to write, to philosophize. This is where most people get it wrong. They make wealth the destination. They say, "When I have $1 million, then I'll be happy. When I have financial freedom, then I'll start living." But Marcus would tell you this is backwards. You must live according to your principles now. Wealth should serve your life, not become your life. Before you chase the next promotion, the next deal, the next investment opportunity, ask yourself this question: why do I want this money? If your answer is to be happy, or to feel successful, or to prove something to others, you're setting yourself up for failure, because no amount of money will ever satisfy those needs. They're internal needs. They require internal solutions. But if your answer is to gain freedom to pursue my purpose, or to support the people I love, or to build something meaningful, then you're using wealth correctly. You're using it as a tool. The Stoics had a concept called preferred indifference. This means that while wealth is preferable to poverty, it's ultimately indifferent to your character and happiness. A good person can be rich or poor. A bad person can be rich or poor. Wealth doesn't determine your worth. This mindset shift is liberating. It removes the desperate energy from your pursuit of money. You're no longer chasing wealth because you think it will complete you. You're building wealth because it's a useful tool for living a good life. And here's the paradox. The moment you stop needing money for validation, you often start making more of it. Why? Because desperation repels opportunity. Confidence attracts it. When you approach business deals, negotiations, or investments from a place of, "I need this," you're operating from weakness. But when you approach from, "This serves my purpose," you're operating from strength. Marcus Aurelius knew this. He had wealth, but he was never owned by it. And that made all the difference. The second rule is perhaps the most famous Stoic principle, and it applies directly to wealth building. Focus only on what you can control. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." In the context of wealth, this principle is absolutely critical, because the world of money is filled with things you cannot control. You cannot control the stock market. You cannot control the economy. You cannot control whether your clients say yes or no. You cannot control if your competitor undercuts your price. You cannot control inflation, regulation, or market crashes. And yet, most people spend their mental energy worrying about exactly these things. They obsess over their stock portfolio going up and down. They panic when the market dips. They stress about things completely outside their influence. This is exhausting. And worse, it's completely ineffective. The Stoics called this the dichotomy of control. There are things within your control and things outside your control. Wisdom is knowing the difference. Peace comes from focusing only on what you can control. So what can you control when it comes to building wealth? You can control your skills. You can choose to learn, to improve, to master your craft. Whether you're a programmer, a salesperson, an investor, or an entrepreneur, you can always get better at what you do. You can control your effort. You can choose to work hard, to show up consistently, to put in the hours when others are sleeping or watching TV or making excuses. You can control your decisions. Every day, you make choices about how to spend your time, your money, your energy. These choices compound over time into your results. You can control your character, your integrity, your reliability, your reputation. These are entirely within your power, and they're often worth more than money itself. You can control your expenses. You decide what you buy, what you need, what's enough. This is pure control. You can control your learning. You choose what books to read, what mentors to follow, what knowledge to acquire. But you cannot control outcomes. And this is where people trap themselves. You can control the quality of your pitch, but not whether the investor says yes. You can control your product, but not whether it goes viral. You can control your investment strategy, but not whether the market rewards it this year. Marcus Aurelius understood this deeply. As emperor, he couldn't control whether Rome's enemies would attack. He couldn't control plagues or famines. He couldn't control the loyalty of his generals. But he could control his response, his decisions, his character. And that's exactly what he focused on. Here's how this changes your approach to wealth. Stop checking your portfolio 10 times a day. That's focusing on what you can't control. Instead, focus on your investment strategy, your research process, your discipline, those you can control. Stop worrying about whether your business will succeed. That's outside your control, because success depends on markets, timing, luck, and 1,000 other variables. Instead, focus on building the best product you can, serving your customers excellently, and improving every single day. Those you can control. Stop stressing about whether you'll be a millionaire by age 30 or 40 or 50. That timeline isn't fully in your control. Instead, focus on your savings rate, your income growth, your financial education, those you can control. This principle doesn't mean you stop caring about results. It means you stop attaching your peace of mind to results. You do your best, you control what you can, and you accept what comes with equanimity. The Stoics believed that the only true good is virtue, excellence of character. Everything else, including wealth, is neither inherently good nor bad. It's simply material you work with. So if you build wealth through excellent character, through skill, through effort, and through wise decisions, that's perfect. And if external circumstances prevent wealth despite your best efforts, you've still succeeded. Because you've done what was in your power. This might sound like philosophical nonsense to some people, but it's actually the most practical approach possible. Because when you focus on what you can control, you take action. When you focus on what you can't control, you just worry. And action creates results. Worry creates nothing. The third rule is one of the most powerful and misunderstood Stoic practices. It's called negative visualization, or in Latin, premeditatio malorum, which means the premeditation of evils. Marcus Aurelius practiced this daily, and it made him both wealthier and more resilient than most people could ever imagine. Here's how it works. Every day, Marcus would imagine losing everything: his wealth, his power, his empire, his family, everything he held dear. Now, this might sound depressing or pessimistic, but it's actually the opposite. Negative visualization isn't about being negative. It's about being prepared. Let me explain how this applies to wealth. Most people live in denial about financial risk. They assume their job is secure. They assume their business will keep growing. They assume the market will keep going up. They assume nothing bad will happen. And then when something bad does happen, they're completely destroyed. They panic. They make terrible decisions. They lose everything because they were never prepared for loss. Marcus Aurelius refused to live this way. He knew that fortune is fickle, that wealth can disappear overnight, that external circumstances can change in an instant. So he prepared himself, mentally. He imagined what he would do if he lost his empire. How would he respond? What would matter most? How would he survive and rebuild? This practice had 3 profound effects on his relationship with wealth. First, it made him grateful. When you regularly imagine losing everything, you appreciate what you have right now. Most wealthy people are miserable because they're always comparing themselves to people who have more. They have 1 million but want 10 million. They have 10 million but want 100 million. They're never satisfied. But when you practice negative visualization, you realize how fortunate you are right now. You have food, shelter, freedom, health, relationships. These things could all be gone tomorrow. So today, they're precious. Marcus wrote, "Do not indulge in dreams of having what you have not, but reckon up the chief of the blessings you do possess, and then thankfully, remember how you would crave for them if they were not yours." This is powerful, because grateful people are happier than wealthy people. And often, grateful people become wealthy because they're not desperate. They're not needy. They're abundant in their mindset. Second, negative visualization makes you prepared. When you've mentally rehearsed losing your job, you have a plan. You have savings. You have skills. You've built a network. You're not blindsided by the possibility. When you've imagined your business failing, you have backup plans. You've diversified. You've managed risk. You're not betting everything on one outcome. When you've visualized a market crash, you're not panicking when it happens. You've already processed the emotions. You've already decided how you'll respond. Maybe you'll buy more. Maybe you'll hold. Maybe you'll adjust. But you won't panic. Sell at the bottom, like everyone else. This is why Stoics were often successful in business and politics. Not because they were optimists who thought everything would work out, but because they were realists who had prepared for everything that could go wrong. Third, negative visualization removes fear. Fear of loss keeps most people from taking necessary risks. They won't start the business because they might fail. They won't invest because they might lose money. They won't negotiate for a raise because they might get fired. But when you've already imagined and accepted the worst-case scenario, it loses its power over you. You realize you'd survive, you'd adapt, you'd rebuild, and that realization gives you courage. Marcus Aurelius faced death on battlefields. He faced political conspiracies. He faced plague and famine. But he never feared these things because he'd already accepted them as possibilities. The same applies to wealth. If you've already accepted that you might lose your money, your job, your business, then you can act boldly. You can take calculated risks. You can pursue opportunities because you're not paralyzed by fear. Here's how to practice this yourself. Once a week, spend 10 minutes imagining a financial setback. Maybe you lose your job. Maybe your business fails. Maybe the market crashes and your investments drop by 50%. Don't just imagine it vaguely. Get specific. What would you do? Where would you live? How would you make money? Who would you ask for help? What skills would you rely on? And then ask yourself, would I survive this? And the answer is almost always yes. You'd survive. You'd adapt. Humans are incredibly resilient. This practice doesn't make you pessimistic. It makes you realistic. And realism is the foundation of true confidence. The ancient Stoics knew something that modern self-help gurus often miss. Positive thinking alone is weak. It collapses under pressure. But positive thinking combined with negative preparation is unbreakable. You hope for the best, but you're ready for the worst. And that combination makes you both optimistic and resilient. You pursue wealth boldly, but you're not destroyed if you lose it. That's the power of negative visualization. The fourth rule Marcus Aurelius lived by is this: discipline equals freedom, especially when it comes to money. This sounds contradictory to most people. They think discipline is restrictive. They think budgets are limiting. They think saying no to purchases is deprivation. But Marcus Aurelius understood the opposite is true. Discipline is what creates freedom, and lack of discipline is what creates slavery. Let me explain. When you have no financial discipline, you're a slave. You're a slave to your impulses. You're a slave to your creditors. You're a slave to your job because you can't afford to quit. You're a slave to stress because you're always worried about money. But when you have discipline, you gain freedom. The freedom to make choices. The freedom to take risks. The freedom to say no. The freedom to live on your terms. Marcus wrote, "He who lives in harmony with himself lives in harmony with the universe." What he meant is that self-control creates external control. When you master yourself, you master your circumstances. So, what does financial discipline look like in practice? It means spending less than you earn. Every month, without exception, this single habit creates wealth over time through compound interest and compound behavior. It means having a plan for your money. You know where every dollar goes. You're not wondering where your paycheck disappeared to. You've decided in advance how to allocate your resources. It means delaying gratification. You don't buy everything you want the moment you want it. You can wait. You can save. You can invest first and spend later. It means saying no. No to lifestyle inflation. No to keeping up with neighbors or colleagues. No to impressive purchases that don't align with your values. No to financial obligations that don't serve your goals. This is hard, because we live in a culture that constantly tells us to spend. Buy now, pay later. You deserve it. Treat yourself. YOLO. FOMO. But Marcus Aurelius would tell you this is the path to slavery, not freedom. Here's what most people don't realize. Every undisciplined purchase you make today is stealing freedom from your future self. That luxury car payment means you can't quit your job. That oversized house means you can't take a sabbatical. Those credit card balances mean you can't start your business. You're trading future freedom for present pleasure. And that's a terrible trade. But here's the beautiful thing about discipline. It compounds, just like interest. When you're disciplined with money today, you have savings tomorrow. When you have savings, you have options. When you have options, you have freedom. When you have freedom, you can make better choices. Better choices lead to better results. Better results lead to more wealth. More wealth leads to more freedom. It's a virtuous cycle, but it starts with discipline. Marcus Aurelius was one of the most powerful men in history, but he lived with remarkable simplicity. He didn't need to prove his status through consumption. He didn't need the biggest palace or the most extravagant parties. He knew his worth came from within, not from his possessions. And this internal validation is what made him truly free. Now, I'm not saying you should live like a monk. The Stoics weren't ascetics. They didn't reject pleasure or comfort. They just didn't need these things to be happy. If you want to buy something expensive, buy it. But buy it intentionally, not impulsively. Buy it because it truly adds value to your life, not because you're trying to impress someone or fill an emotional void. The difference is consciousness. Disciplined people make conscious choices about money. Undisciplined people make unconscious ones. Here's a practical framework Marcus Aurelius might use if he were alive today. Before any significant purchase, ask yourself 3 questions. First, is this aligned with my values? Does this purchase support who I am and who I want to become? Or is it just status, signaling, or emotional spending? Second, can I afford this without debt? If you can't pay cash for it, you can't afford it. Debt is the opposite of freedom. It's literally selling your future labor to buy present consumption. Third, what opportunity cost am I accepting? Every dollar spent on this is a dollar not invested, not saved, not available for future opportunities. Is this purchase worth that trade-off? If you can answer yes to all 3 questions, buy it guilt-free. If not, don't. This simple filter will save you from 90% of financial mistakes. The Stoics also practiced voluntary discomfort. Marcus Aurelius would occasionally sleep on the floor, eat simple food, wear plain clothes. Not because he had to, but because he chose to. Why? To remind himself that he didn't need luxury to be happy. To prove to himself that if he lost everything, he'd be fine. To maintain his discipline and resilience. You can do the same. Maybe once a month, live on a tiny budget, rice and beans. No restaurants, no entertainment spending, just the basics. This practice has 2 benefits. First, it builds your confidence that you can live on less if you ever need to. Second, it makes you more grateful for your normal lifestyle. The people who fear poverty the most are those who've never experienced any form of scarcity. But if you voluntarily practice simplicity, poverty loses its power over you. And when poverty has no power over you, you're free. Free to take risks. Free to pursue meaning instead of just money. Free to live authentically. That's what Marcus Aurelius understood. Discipline isn't restriction. It's liberation. The 5th rule that Marcus Aurelius would emphasize is this: invest in yourself first, always. In ancient Rome, Marcus Aurelius spent enormous amounts of time and resources on his own education. He studied under the greatest philosophers. He read voraciously. He practiced his thinking and writing daily. Why? Because he understood that the best investment you can ever make is in your own mind, skills, and character. Warren Buffett, one of the wealthiest investors in history, said something similar. He said the best investment you can make is in yourself. That investment, he said, has tax-free returns and can never be taken away from you. The Stoics would completely agree. Here's why this matters for building wealth. Your income is directly tied to the value you provide to others. And the value you provide is directly tied to your skills, knowledge, and abilities. If you're average at your job, you'll earn average money. If you're exceptional at your job, you'll earn exceptional money. If you develop rare and valuable skills, you can command rare and valuable compensation. This is true whether you're an employee, entrepreneur, freelancer, or investor. Value determines income, and you determine your value. So the fastest way to increase your wealth isn't to find a get-rich-quick scheme. It's not to gamble on meme stocks. It's not to hope your boss notices you. The fastest way to increase your wealth is to increase your skills. Marcus Aurelius approached this systematically. He didn't just learn randomly. He focused on skills that would compound over time. He learned rhetoric, the ability to communicate persuasively. This skill served him in every negotiation, every speech, every written decree. It multiplied his influence and effectiveness. He learned philosophy, the ability to think clearly and make wise decisions. This skill protected him from countless mistakes that could have destroyed his empire. He learned history, so he could learn from the successes and failures of those who came before him. This gave him pattern recognition that others lacked. He learned self-discipline through daily practices and physical training. This gave him the consistency to execute on his knowledge. These skills compounded throughout his life. Every year, he became more valuable as a leader, more effective as a ruler, more influential as a person. You should approach your own development the same way. Don't just accumulate random knowledge. Develop skills that compound. What are compound skills? They're skills that get more valuable over time and that enhance other skills. Communication is a compound skill. Whether you're selling, leading, teaching, or negotiating, communication multiplies your effectiveness. And the better you get at it, the more valuable all your other skills become. Critical thinking is a compound skill. The ability to analyze problems, see through bullshit, make sound decisions. This skill improves every area of your life and every business decision you make. Financial literacy is a compound skill. Understanding money, investing, business, economics. This knowledge protects you from mistakes and helps you identify opportunities others miss. Creativity is a compound skill. The ability to generate ideas, solve problems in novel ways, see connections others don't. In an automated world, creativity becomes more valuable every year. Emotional intelligence is a compound skill. Understanding yourself and others, managing relationships, leading teams. Most business failures come down to people problems, not technical problems. These are the skills worth investing in, not necessarily the latest tech trend or the hottest certification, but the timeless skills that create value in any era, any industry, any circumstance. Now, how do you invest in yourself? First, read. Marcus Aurelius, read constantly. He studied the great minds who came before him. Reading is the highest ROI activity imaginable. For $20 and 5 hours, you can download the entire knowledge and experience of an expert into your brain. If you read one book per week on business, investing, psychology, communication, and philosophy, you'll read 50 books per year. Do that for 5 years, and you'll have consumed 250 books. You'll literally know more than 99% of people in your field. Second, learn by doing. Knowledge without application is worthless. Marcus Aurelius didn't just read about leadership. He led. He made decisions. In Recator, wearing intense decisions, he dealt with real consequences. You must do the same. Start the side business. Make the investments. Have the difficult conversations. Take the risks. Experience teaches what books cannot. Third, find mentors. Marcus Aurelius sought out the best teachers he could find. He didn't try to figure everything out alone. You shouldn't either. Find people who are where you want to be. Study them, ask for their guidance, model their behavior. This shortcut alone can save you years of trial and error. Fourth, invest money in your education. Take courses, hire coaches, attend conferences, join masterminds. Yes, this costs money. but it's the best money you'll ever spend. Most people will spend $50,000 on a car that depreciates, but won't spend $5,000 on a course that could transform their career. This is backwards thinking. Your car doesn't generate income, but your skills do. Your car loses value every year, but your skills gain value every year. Fifth, take care of your health. Marcus Aurelius understood that a sharp mind requires a healthy body. He exercised. He ate moderately. He got sleep. If you're exhausted, sick, or mentally foggy, you can't perform at a high level. Your health is the foundation of everything else. Protect it. Here's what most people get wrong. They think investing in themselves is selfish. They think they should invest their money in stocks or real estate first. But this is incorrect. The best financial return you'll ever get is from improving your own earning power. Let's do the math. If you currently earn $50,000 per year, and you invest $1,000 in a course that helps you earn 10% more, you've just earned an extra $5,000 per year. That's a 400% return on investment in year one alone. And it continues every year afterward. No stock, real estate, or cryptocurrency investment can compete with that return. And unlike external investments, your skills can't be taken away. The market can crash, your company can go bankrupt, your real estate can lose value, but your knowledge and abilities are yours forever. Marcus Aurelius knew this. That's why he spent more time developing himself than accumulating possessions. Make the same choice. Before you buy the next gadget, ask yourself, would this money be better spent on a book, a course, a coach, or a skill? Usually, the answer is yes. The sixth rule that Marcus Aurelius lived by is perhaps the most counterintuitive. Live virtuously, and profit will come naturally. This goes against everything modern culture teaches about wealth. We're told to be aggressive, to step on others, to do whatever it takes to get ahead. We're told nice guys finish last, and that business is war. But Marcus Aurelius understood something different. He understood that virtue, true excellence of character, is actually the most profitable way to live in the long run. Let me explain what the Stoics meant by virtue. They identified 4 cardinal virtues: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Wisdom means making good decisions based on reason and knowledge. Courage means doing what's right even when it's difficult or scary. Justice means treating others fairly and giving them what they're owed. Temperance means self-control and moderation. Now, on the surface, these might sound like nice moral principles but not particularly useful for making money. But look deeper. Wisdom in business means making smart investments, avoiding stupid risks, learning from mistakes, thinking long-term. This directly creates wealth. Courage in business means starting the company, having the difficult conversation, firing the wrong person, betting on yourself. This directly creates wealth. Justice in business means keeping your promises, treating employees fairly, delivering value to customers, building trust. This directly creates wealth. Temperance in business means not overextending, not gambling, not getting greedy, staying disciplined. This directly protects wealth. You see, the virtues aren't separate from wealth building. They are wealth building. Marcus Aurelius proved this. He was one of the most successful leaders in history, not because he was the most aggressive or ruthless, but because he was the most principled. People trusted him. They followed him. They worked harder for him because they respected him. His empire thrived because his character was solid. The same principle applies in modern business. Your reputation is your most valuable asset, and your reputation is built on your character. If you're known for integrity, people want to do business with you. If you're known for delivering value, customers seek you out. If you're known for treating people well, the best talent wants to work for you. But if you lie, cheat, or manipulate, you might win in the short term. You might make a quick profit, but eventually, Your reputation catches up with you. People stop trusting you. Opportunities dry up. You have to work harder and harder to maintain your position because no one wants to help you. The Stoics called this living in accordance with nature. By nature, humans are social creatures. We're wired to cooperate, to trade, to help each other. When you act virtuously, you're working with human nature. When you act viciously, you're working against it. And what works with nature is always easier and more sustainable than what works against it. Let me give you specific examples of how virtue creates wealth. Honesty creates wealth. When you're honest with customers about what your product can and cannot do, you build trust. Trust creates repeat business. Repeat business is more profitable than constantly chasing new customers. When you're honest with employees about the challenges your company faces, they respect you and work harder to solve problems. When you're honest with investors about risks, they're more likely to back you because they know you're realistic. Dishonesty might create a short-term sale, but it creates a long-term disaster. Because eventually, the truth comes out. And when it does, your reputation is destroyed. Generosity creates wealth. When you pay people fairly, they're loyal. When you provide exceptional value to customers, they refer others. When you share knowledge freely, people see you as an authority. I know this sounds backwards. Shouldn't you pay people as little as possible to maximize profit? Shouldn't you extract maximum value from customers? Shouldn't you hoard your knowledge as a competitive advantage? No. Because human relationships are not zero-sum games. When you help others win, they help you win. When you create value for others, value flows back to you. Marcus Aurelius understood this deeply. He wrote, "What brings no benefit to the hive brings none to the bee." Meaning, you cannot prosper while those around you suffer. Your success is tied to the success of your community, your customers, your employees, your partners. Reliability creates wealth. When you do what you say you'll do, when you deliver on time, when you follow through on commitments, people depend on you. And people pay premium prices for dependability. The most successful businesses aren't always the ones with the best products. They're often the ones that are simply reliable. They answer emails. They ship on time. They stand behind their work. This consistency builds trust, and trust is the foundation of all commerce. Humility creates wealth. When you're humble enough to admit what you don't know, you keep learning. When you're humble enough to ask for help, people give it. When you're humble enough to acknowledge mistakes, you fix them quickly instead of defending them. Arrogance, on the other hand, is expensive. It prevents you from seeing opportunities. It prevents you from learning. It prevents others from wanting to help you. Now, I want to address the obvious objection. What about all the successful people who aren't virtuous? What about the scammers, the cheaters, the manipulators who seem to prosper? Marcus Aurelius would say two things. First, their success is usually temporary. They might have money, but they don't have peace. They might have power, but they don't have respect. They're always looking over their shoulder, always worried about being exposed, always needing to find new victims. Second, even if some vicious people do succeed materially, they've failed at the only thing that truly matters: becoming a good person. Because at the end of your life, the only question that matters is, did I live well? Did I become who I was capable of becoming? All the money in the world means nothing if you become a worse person in the process of acquiring it. Marcus wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. This is the path, not hoping for wealth, not scheming for wealth, but becoming excellent and allowing wealth to be a natural byproduct." Here's how to apply this practically. In every business decision, ask yourself, What would the most virtuous version of me do in this situation? Would the most virtuous version of you mislead that customer? No. Then, don't do it. Would the most virtuous version of you screw over that business partner? No. Then don't do it. Would the most virtuous version of you take this shortcut that compromises quality? No. Then don't do it. This doesn't mean you're naive or passive. Virtue includes wisdom and courage. You protect yourself. You negotiate hard. You compete fiercely. But you do it with integrity. And over time, this approach builds something that cannot be bought. A reputation for excellence. And that reputation is worth more than gold. The Stoics believed that the only thing that truly endures is virtue, your character, your integrity, your wisdom. These things die with you, but their effects ripple outward through the lives you've touched, the value you've created, the example you've set. Marcus Aurelius knew his empire wouldn't last forever. And he was right. The Roman Empire eventually fell. His wealth was redistributed. His palaces crumbled. But his words, his philosophy, his example, those survived 2,000 years. That's the paradox. When you stop trying to make wealth permanent, you often create something that actually lasts, because you focus on creating real value instead of just accumulating numbers in a bank account. Think about the wealthiest person you know. Now think about the person who's had the greatest positive impact on your life. Are they the same person? Probably not. Impact outlasts wealth. Character outlasts money. Meaning outlasts material success. So yes, build wealth. But build it knowing it's temporary. Use it while you have it. Give it generously. Invest it wisely, but never worship it, because it will betray you in the end, like it betrays everyone. When Marcus Aurelius died, he couldn't take a single coin with him, but he left behind Meditations, a book that has guided millions of people for 2 millennia. He left behind a reputation for wisdom and virtue that still inspires leaders today. That's the real wealth. Not what you accumulate, but what you become. Not what you own, but what you create. Not what you leave behind in your bank account, but what you leave behind in the hearts and minds of others. Conclusion: 78 to 0, 80 to 0. So there you have it. The 7 rules Marcus Aurelius lived by when it came to building and maintaining wealth. Let me recap them for you one final time. Rule number 1. Wealth is a tool, not a goal. Use money to serve your life and values, not the other way around. Rule number 2. Focus on what you can control. Your skills, your effort, your decisions, your character. Let go of worrying about outcomes outside your power. Rule number 3. Practice negative visualization. Regularly imagine losing everything so you can appreciate what you have, prepare for setbacks, and remove fear from your life. Rule number 4. Discipline equals freedom. Financial self-control today creates options and opportunities tomorrow. Lack of discipline creates slavery to debt, stress, and circumstances. Rule number 5. Invest in yourself first. Your skills and knowledge are your most valuable and permanent assets. Develop them relentlessly. Wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance aren't just moral principles. They're the foundation of sustainable success and wealth. Rule number 7. Accept impermanence and act accordingly. Hold wealth lightly, knowing it's temporary. Focus instead on building character and creating lasting value. These 7 rules worked 2,000 years ago in ancient Rome, and they work today in our modern world of startups, investments, and digital businesses because human nature hasn't changed. The principles of wealth building haven't changed. What worked for Marcus Aurelius can work for you. But here's the key. You have to actually apply these principles. Knowledge without action is worthless. Marcus Aurelius didn't just think about these ideas. He lived them every single day for decades. That's what made him not just wealthy, but wise. Not just powerful, but peaceful. Not just successful, but significant. You can do the same, starting today, starting right now. Choose one of these 7 rules, just one, and commit to practicing it this week. Maybe it's tracking every dollar you spend to build discipline. Maybe it's investing in a course to develop a new skill. Maybe it's spending 10 minutes imagining a financial setback to build resilience. Start small, but start, because the journey to lasting wealth isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. And every marathon begins with a single step. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." That strength is available to you right now. The wisdom is here. The path is clear. All that remains is for you to walk it. Thank you for watching. If this video added value to your life, subscribe to The Stoic CEO for more ancient wisdom applied to modern success. Now go build your empire the Stoic way.